Thank you for joining us for video 4 of Copyright Basics, the ins and outs for effective teaching and learning. This video will focus on the TEACH Act. As technology evolved, so did copyright law, and one response to the introduction of distance learning was the TEACH Act. The next slide will go over the requirements of the TEACH Act, as there are many. The important thing to remember is that you needn't rely on the TEACH Act. You may always evaluate your use for fair use. Let's get started. The TEACH Act, or Technology, Education, and Copyright Harmonization Act of 2002, allows educators to perform or display copyrighted works in distance education environments. If you would like to show a video or display an image in your online class, you may want to consider whether that use is allowable under the TEACH Act. So what are the benefits of the TEACH Act? Performances and displays of nearly all types of copyrighted works are allowed, as well as the transmission of digital materials to students at distance education locations. Storage of copyrighted content for brief periods of time, such as that which occurs in the process of transmitting digital content, and the creating of digital versions of print or analog works. In order to take advantage of these benefits, instructors and institutions must meet certain policy requirements specified by the TEACH Act. Reasonable measures to assure that only enrolled students will have access to materials during the course of instruction must be in place before TEACH exemptions can be made. In addition, the teaching must occur at an accredited nonprofit educational institution. Only lawfully acquired copies may be used. Use is limited to performances and displays. The TEACH Act does not apply to student materials that are for independent use and retention, such as textbooks or readings. Use of materials must be within the context of mediated instructional activities, analogous to the activities of a face-to-face class session. The materials to be used should not include those primarily marketed for the purposes of distance education. Only those students enrolled in the class should have access to the material. Reasonable efforts must be made to prevent students from distributing the material after viewing it. If a digital version of the work is already available, then an analog copy cannot be converted for educational use. Students must be informed that the materials they access are protected by copyright, and the educational institution must have a policy on the use of copyrighted materials and provide informative resources for faculty advising them on their rights. The requirements for complying with the TEACH Act are numerous and onerous. As opportunities for applying the TEACH Act are limited in scope, keep in mind that you may also consider fair use when using copyrighted works online and in distance education settings. Join us in the next video as we discuss the public domain.